Welcome back to The Next Revolution. With the midterm elections quickly approaching, many are wondering if the Republicans will be able to keep control of the House and Senate. Anthony Scaramucci has a view. What is it?
And it's not Republican talking points. It's actually empirical evidence that it will happen. Because if you look at the seats that are up, Stephen, and you analyze the seats that are up, and you analyze the increase in disposable income in those areas of the countries where the seats are up, the Donald J. Trump tax cut,
President. The House seats or Senate or both?
Well, I would say both. Well, you know, in the Senate, it's a little bit different because the seats that are up there, we'll have to see what happens with Senator Corker as an example. But I still think that they maintain their lead in the Senate, but they really do keep the House, and they keep the House by a reasonable margin. And this will be the shocker, because if you go to 2010 or you go to the George Bush in 2006, you know, the Republican president or the Democratic first-term president, to use President Obama's words, got shellacked. But in this case, I don't think that will happen, because this is the first time in 8 years where real money is entering the pockets of average Americans. And so just take a look at the data, look at disposable income rising. People typically vote with their pocketbooks. And so I make a prediction here. You can dunk me in November if I'm wrong, but I make a prediction here that we're going to keep the House. The Senate, I think even Democrats would say even up, slightly better than even that would keep the Senate.
Really interesting. I mean, that it's seen, Adrian, as kind of crazy talk, right? And in Washington, where there's this total assumption that it's going to be a disaster.
Well, I hope they keep that assumption.
That the House is pretty much, you forget about the House, and they might cling on to the Senate. I mean, what's your take?
Well, look, a couple things. First of all, I respectfully disagree with your analysis. We'll see what happens in November. I'll also say that Democrats will certainly take nothing for granted. I mean, look what happened in 2016. We will never take anything for granted. But that being said, we've got a couple things on our side. Actually, we've got a lot of good things on our side right now as Democrats. Number one, the generic ballot, which is very important. Democrats are leading by average of 3 to 4 points in the generic ballot across the board. It used to be
much bigger.
No, but across the board,
I mean,
this is significant.
A lot, hasn't it?
This is significant. And these are, a lot of these are in states that Donald Trump won or carried in the 2016 elections, in the presidential election. Number two, I worked at the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee under Chairman Rahm Emanuel, the cycle that Democrats took back the House. That was the culture of corruption. That was the sort of what we ran on that cycle. We are doing much better now on the generic ballot at this time than we were at that time, if that makes sense. So we ended up picking up 28 seats that cycle. I think you are seeing a wave in the making on the down ballot seats that Democrats have flipped since Donald Trump took office. We have flipped 37 of those seats from red to blue. So the trend lines are certainly going in our favor right now. Obviously, anything can change at this moment, but I think we're going to see some big wins.
Yeah, I mean, I hear all that.
November.
It sounds like there's a bit of cockiness creeping in.
What you just heard was the establishment.
Not from you, of course, but
It's
from
not
your
cocky,
colleagues
it's just
in
reality.
That was the establishment speaking. It's the same establishment that said, no way Donald J. Trump going to be president ever. And by the way, if he gets that nomination, guess what? No way. No way. So the bottom line is a generic ballot. If it's anywhere near +1, +2, I'll take that on election day. We'll hold the House.
The other thing that's on, Adrian was talking about what's on the ballot. The other thing that's going to be on the ballot, the Republicans, if they've got any sense, I think will make it, is Nancy Pelosi. I mean, these are a perennial.
Well, you know, the crumbs that she talked about
exactly
and that you referred to,
right.
money in the pockets, it's crumbs. But again, I still look to the Democratic Party and I say, what are you running on? You're running on shielding illegal immigrants. You're running on gun control, and you're running on, I don't like what Trump tweets. That's the agenda. And then you've got the Republicans that are running on real reform, real money in the pockets of average, everyday Americans. I think that we're going to, excuse my pun, trump them yet again.
Well,
but they can still think.
So just one last thing. Do you think that, because I very much agree with that analysis, and yours, I'm going to make a prediction, but I think that's fundamentally important, the real change in people's living standards that's happening. Do you think that's enough, or do you think that the president needs, I don't know, 1 or 2 more sort of concrete accomplishments beyond what he's already done?
I think we need the wall. I think that's absolutely what Trump supporters are looking. They're looking for. We're looking on immigration reform. That's what we want. That's what Trump supporters want. That's what I believe average, everyday Americans want. That's why we elected Donald Trump. He needs to get that done. I think he's working on it, and I'm optimistic about it. But at the end of the day, like you said, people vote with their pocketbook. And I think that's what we're going to see coming up, unless the Democrats make a huge shift and they actually get a platform. I'm not going to hold my breath.
How has that happened so far?
Well, just remember, he's also the X factor, okay? I mean, you know, the president is a ratings machine. And so what the Democrats, I think, totally didn't I'll use a George W. Bush word. They misunderestimated him. It's not a real word, but figure you're British or half British or whatever. But here's what happens. Okay, people say, okay, we got it. It's a first congressional election after the first-term president. We're going to beat him. All the historical trends are on our side, as they were in 2016. And then, boom, here comes the X factor. And he's descending on Air Force One and all these strategic districts. And there's a way about him where he gravitates people to him. And at the last minute, people are going to close the curtain and they're going to go and they're going to vote for their pocketbook.
So do you think
they're not going to vote along the polls? We saw that in 2016.
Well, they were thinking about the 26-year-old not in the basement anymore.
Well, he's out question that I put to Tommy. Do you think he needs anything else, or I mean, even if you think it would be good to get something else, do you think it's necessary, or what's been
listen,
achieved
if he gets something else, it'll certainly help. But again, just looking at the data, I'll make another prediction. Okay, so from 1880 to today, you don't dislodge a sitting president without a bone-crushing disaster in the economy, rise in unemployment, a depression, Herbert Hoover, stagnation, stagflation, Jimmy Carter. You don't do it. Even George Herbert Walker Bush, we had the recession, but you also had to have Ross Perot in there to knock him out of the presidency. And so from 1880, and even Governor Mitt Romney said this in our call after he lost, he said, you know, it's almost impossible to dislodge a sitting president in a rising economy. And we look back at the data. Right. Didn't happen from 1880 till today. Yeah. So he's going to win re-election, too. So I don't want to upset all the Democrats
the other good economic
watch your show, but he's going to win re-election on top of keeping the House and Senate. I think 3 of you will agree
with this anyway. I really think the reason he won, honest to God, is real wage growth, which did not occur for 8 years. Real wage growth. Not talking about the market or anything.
We talk about it all the time. It's actually more than 8 years. I mean, on some, it's at least 16. Yeah. On some measures, it goes back to the 70s.
And now you see it. Now you see it. Yeah. And heading north. And that's real dollars in the pockets of real people who elected him in the first place.